Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I hope you like this video and subscribe and share it with your friends if you can. In this video, I'm going to give you an update on all the seedlings that are growing as a result of me sowing the seeds in September. And I'm also going to sow some more seeds today that you can start. If you live in zone 8A or higher, you can start these in October and grow them all through the winter. Okay? Let's get started. It is October 1st. It's around 11:30 a.m. and it is 93 degrees. The forecast tricked us. It was predicted that we would be in the mid-80s this week. However, we've been getting temperatures in the 90s, low 90s. I think the hottest day was 95. The other day. But anyway, I just want to give you a look at my garden. It appears smaller than what it actually is because the area between the fence and the edge of those bricks is much larger than it seems. And so when I come out in the morning to water, I've been waiting a little bit longer than the usual time, like 7, 8, 9 in the morning. I've been coming out around 10. That way I can give a drink of water to the wimpy plants, and that would be your okra right there, there, and back there. And I've noticed since I started doing that, they don't get as wimpy. Because if I don't do it this way, then I would have to water twice a day, and I don't want to do that. Anyway, I just want to show you everything is growing pretty good, except for my starts in the 2 black galvanized beds. They're doing okay, but it just got a little too hot for them. This crazy Texas weather put me in the trick bag. The forecast said that from now until the first week of October, we're going to have temperatures in the low 80s. Well, it's 92 degrees today. And I have more society garlic I need to plant. So I'm going to show you what you can do in case you have something you need to plant, but it's really too hot. You see that hole I dug in there? I'm going to put all of this garlic right in this hole. And then in a week, or even a few days, when I am ready to plant it where it needs to go, I can do that. So I'm going to just shovel this good soil right on top. I've already watered it, and it'll be good to go when I need to transplant it. Here are my 2 green stalks. I got sweet potatoes growing in them, and we were able to harvest a little peas. And this is my dilemma. You see this one? It turns and spins pretty good. Okay? You see that? This one doesn't. It's very hard to spin. I think that's because my grandson and I didn't remove all the wood chips down at the bottom of here. And if you remember, if you've been with me for a while, you know that these fell down when we had a terrible storm. So I thought by putting them where there's a fence on this side and a fence right in front of them, that would stop them from blowing down. And sure enough, it's worked. I harvested these turnips from the green stalks because they were getting ready to bolt. In 95-degree weather, it just wasn't, the conditions just weren't favorable to keep them growing. And I'm going to blanch these later and get them in the freezer along with some other veggies that I'm going to harvest today. Seedlings right here, I grew these in September. So I'm going to give you an update on them right now, okay? All right. A quick update on the butternut squash. You see it's leafing out beautifully. The next thing that I'm going to do to this container is to cover the soil with mulch. Butternut squash is my favorite squash to grow. I love to make a soup out of it, and it has a long shelf life. While I'm giving a few updates, I thought I would share with you the carrots and how nicely they are growing, and the spinach that's growing on the border. And right there, if you guys have been with me for a while, you'll know that that is stevia. So it's gonna die when we get a 32-degree temperature, but you only harvest the leaves. So I'm gonna let it grow as long as it wants to grow. Here in the galvanized garden bed, you can see some of the rutabaga seeds are coming up. I'm happy about that. And I'm still waiting on the parsnip, but remember I told you guys it takes a couple weeks for them to germinate. The seeds are germinating here in the second garden bed, but I'll give you an update real soon. As soon as this weather cools down, they're gonna just take off. These are the mustard spinach greens. I sowed these seeds on the 5th of September. They're doing really well. I just watered them, and this is the same thing. Now these, I started hydroponically and then transplanted outside. So it's all the same mustard spinach, and they're doing real good. I put a few celery seeds in here, nothing yet. I'll share with you when they come up. And over here, I started these September 5th. These are the giant red mustard greens right here and right here. And I started all of these on the same day, September the 5th. And these are the dwarf Siberian kale, looking good. Here are the same greens. These were started hydroponically. So you can get a head start by growing seeds hydroponically. It's such a beautiful feeling to wake up, turn your systems on, and pick all of your ripe fruit. So I have like 12 of these tomato plants, and they're all gonna be wrapping up soon. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting 12 more tomato plants to put in various systems. I just left the bank. I went to the doctor and then the bank, and the teller recognized me from my videos. You never know who's watching you. And the other teller, she told her, this is the lady I told you to watch. Keep helping people. You never know who you inspire. That just made my heart smile. Right here, where those large containers are, I'm going to harvest some green beans today and some basil, and then I'm going to plant some collards and some rainbow Swiss chard. Okay, so those are the beans, and here's the container I'm going to prep for collard greens, and all of these rinlets will go into the compost. Now, I put Black Cow new potty mix and something else in here when I planted those string beans. I gotta look at my journal, but I know I am gonna amend it with some worm castings. But for right now, I'm just gonna rake this up a little bit to loosen up the soil, like so. And I'm just gonna go ahead on and plant these collard greens. I gotta get something going, guys, before it gets cold. Those roots need to be well established before we get a freeze. Georgia collards from Pawpaws. I got it on the line. And you only need to put these down about 1/4 of an inch. And yeah, and then just cover them up with soil. So that's what I'll do. And the bean roots were very shallow, so it's not a lot of roots and stuff like that in here. And I knew that what I was going to do when I put those beans there. And for those of you that are wondering, well, you don't have that many beans, it's going to be enough for this family because I have 3 more containers I need to harvest. Okay. As you can see here, the seeds are very small, so I'm just going to broadcast them. And I'm going to move some soil to the side, like here. This is how I do it every time. Just move some soil to the edge of the perimeter of the container, and that's what I'll use to cover them up. About 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to put a little bit more. A few more seeds I'm going to sprinkle. And then I'll pick up some soil around the edge and just drop it on top. See, like so. And even though it's going to be 95 degrees, these will germinate. I'll have to come out and water them probably a couple times a day until the temperature drops to the mid or low 80s consistently. Now, they told us that was going to be this week, but hey, God is in control. You can't mess with nature. Okay, so I'm just going to pat these down. And they're already watered, because I watered the whole garden before I started. And we'll be good to go. But I'm going to do 2 more things. And I know y'all going to think I'm crazy, but I'm working smart and not hard. I'm going to put a couple tomato cages in here so that when I put my frost cloth on them when we get freezing temperatures, they will have something I can clip on to. And I want you to know that collard greens can take a very low temperature. These will come back in the spring, even if they die back. So let me go get the tomato cages. Well, I don't have to show you. I'm going to do it just like this one over here. You see this over here? I'm getting ready to put rainbow Swiss chard in this container here. Here are my rainbow Swiss chard seeds. As you can see, the seeds are much bigger. The seeds grow in a cluster, so you don't need to use as many. And I'm going to put these down a 1/2 inch. Just going to stick my finger down. Did you see that? And drop a seed. And I won't cover them up until I have all of them in, so I'll know where I put my seeds. The Swiss chard is all planted nicely in. You know, I pat it down when I get done, covering it with soil. I'm going to keep my tomato cages here, and I clip them together so there's more strength in numbers when the high wind comes from the winter. This will stabilize. I clipped it here, here, and over there, and then I'll drape that frost cloth over it. The same thing over here. So I really utilize my tomato cages. I don't use them just for tomatoes. I use them to grow cantaloupe, to act as a fixture when I put shade cloth on, frost cloth, insect netting. Work smart, guys, and not hard. Okay, so I'm going to make 2 signs for these 2. And I think I'll harvest some more green beans. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to call it a day. I am out of breath, and I don't want to have a setback. Okay. I want to show you guys something. When I came out yesterday afternoon to water my newly planted collard green seeds and the rainbow Swiss chard over here, I noticed that they were drying out too fast. So I put a shade cloth over it. And this is what I was talking about earlier in the video, how I utilize my tomato cages. Okay? But I want to make something clear to you. I did not water the complete garden twice. I only watered the newly planted seeds. How beautifully my sweet potatoes have bloomed out. Now, I showed you some that were in the green stalks over there, but I don't know if I showed you these. They are doing so well. Okay, everybody, that wraps up this video. I hope I shared something that you can use in your gardens. And if you haven't started a garden, I hope that you can start one, and because you see how easy I did it. If I'm 70 and I can do it, and I've got health conditions, you can do it too. Okay, I hope you tune in for the next video. Please like and share this if you don't mind. You know that I love you, and God loves you too. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.